All right. What's up, everybody? So Pat's not here tonight. Obviously. I'm Brian. Uh, I'm here instead. And earlier, Ryan and Jay both played some draft of Hour of Devastation. So I thought I'd shake things up a little, even further, and we would play some Sealed tonight. So let's jump right into it. All right, let's see what we got. Let's sort by rarity, just see if there's anything worth building around just in the rares. And Bantu's Last Reckoning, Rags to Riches, Reason to Believe, Scavenger Grounds, Temet, and Torment of Hellfire. Okay. Couple in there. Temet and Torment are both pretty solid in my opinion. Let's see what colors look like. Alright. We have a lot of blue, a lot of black, and a decent amount of white. Let's see. What do we have worth playing? Let's see. I'd love to play the Temet if we can, but that requires a token strategy. Let's see. We've got a Sacred Cat. Gustwalker's solid in white even without that. The token strategy. Trueheart Duelist. Dauntless Aven. Alright, so I don't see a whole lot of tokens in white. Pretty much just a Sacred Cat. Let's see what we've got in blue. So Proven Combatant is one of the new Eternalized cards. Let's see. Talcrop Skirmisher. It has Embalm. That's not bad. Even Initiate. Alright, so we've got a couple decent Embalm and Eternalized creatures. That might not be a bad place to go. I just want to see what other playables. Let's see. So Sacred Cat's playable. Active Heroism is a combat trick. It's +2/+2 until end of turn. Untap the creature and it can block an additional creature this turn. Compulsory Rest is good removal. Gustwalker is just a good creature. Let's see. Catcher's Avenger. Let's see. Yes, I could go Dimir Spirit. That's a definite possibility. I'd love to be able to play Temet though. He's just such a good card. Let's see. Catcher's Avenger, exert it. As it attacks, prevent all combat damage to be dealt to it this turn. That's not bad if we need creatures. Let's bring that over here. Saving grace when enters a battlefield. Enchanted creature when enters battlefield. All damage that would be dealt this turn to you and permanent you controls dealt to target creature instead and gives it +0, +3. That doesn't seem great. Oh, hey, I didn't see that True Heart Duelist. That has Embalm on it. Dauntless Aven's a 2/1 flyer for 2 if nothing else. That's pretty good. I've got 2 of those. Sorry, 3 of those. Wow. Desert's Hold. When Desert's Hold enters, enchant target creature enters the battlefield. If you control a desert or there is a desert card in your graveyard, gain 3 life. Enchanted creature can't attack or block, and it's activated. Okay, that's activated abilities can't be activated. That's a okay removal. For going deserts, the Solitary Camel's not bad. And Unconventional Tactics isn't bad for the +3/+3 and flying until end of turn for 3 mana. Let's see. So, Proven Combatant has Eternalize. I'm really fond of Slitherblade just because it's a 1-drop that just chips away at your opponent. Let's see, Cunning Survivor. We're not going to be cycling or discarding, most likely, so that's probably not that good. Of course, we're playing Essence Scatter because, of course, we want to be countering their creatures. Spellweaver Eternal is a prowess, Afflict 2. We might play it if we need to. I'm not sure how many actual spells we're going to be casting to turn on the prowess, but it might be playable. So Tawcrop Skirmisher has Embalm. That's good. Unquenchable Thirst is more removal. It keeps a creature tapped down. So we'll probably be playing that. Even Initiate has Flying and Embalm, so that's good. We may just be playing the Aven Reed Stalker because it's a flash flying 2/3. I'm not sure how many playable creatures we're actually going to need. But we will see. Decision Paralysis is a maybe. It's 4 mana to tap 2 creatures. They don't untap during their next controller's next untap step. Those that may be needed just to push threats through. Imaginary Threats might see play as well because it's an instant and creature's target opponent controls attack this turn if able. During that player's next turn or next untap step, creatures he or she controls don't untap. It also has cycling for 2, so that might see play if we need it. I'm not a huge fan of it. Striped Riverwinder seems like just a good card. It's a 5/5 for 7 with hexproof that we can cycle if we get early. Let's be honest, Lay Claim is just good because we can steal any permanent our opponent plays. And I also don't think, so for the same reason I don't think we're playing Spellweaver Eternal, I don't think we're playing the Cryptic Serpent. We're just not going to be playing that many spells outside of, during combat. Let's see. Am I? Alright, hold on. Is it feedback or is it just it might be the fan in the my computer fan in the background? Oh, it was duping my voice. Huh. I have no idea. Is it better now? I have no idea what was wrong. Yeah, I'm checking something. Alright, that's fine. What is... Yeah, I'm checking right now, trying to figure out what it is. Is it still doing it, or... Okay. Alright, I'm not gonna worry about it too much right now. If it happens again, let me know. We'll see. Alright, so... So... Do we have enough deserts to make the camel better than just a 3-2 for 3? Huh, maybe it's just you, Pat. I don't know. I mean, it could be your, just your side of things. I don't know. Alright, let's see what deserts we've got that are worth playing. Alright. So I think we're just going to... Alright, so we're obviously going to play Desert of the Mindful because it's on color. Okay. Good to know, Pat. Thanks. So, I think we might play Cradle of the Accursed and probably Scavenging Grounds just to have a couple incidental, just to have some deserts, and their effects aren't necessarily bad. I do think we are a little heavy on things. I think I'm gonna cut Imaginary Threats, and let's see, actually, what does that brings us to 23. Okay, so that puts us at 17. We might be able to put something in. Let me see what our curve looks like. Okay, so that doesn't look horrible. That's pretty good. I think we will play 17 lands, and let's see, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, so 12 blue. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 white, so it seems like a pretty close split. Let's see what Moto suggests. 7 and 7. Yeah, that seems about right. Alright. Yeah, I'm gonna actually take a look at the green after this. I'm gonna make this make the blue white, and then just know we've got it, and then take a look at what I've got in the other colors, because I think green and black seem fairly strong as well. The red looks pretty good as a support color as well. So we will see. Let me save this deck. And let's take a look at what else we can create with this pool, because let's be honest, often when you're doing sealed, there's not one definite right way to take your pool. There are probably 2 or 3 good decks you can make out of your pool. So as far as green goes, I love the Frilled Sandwalla. It's a 1-drop, 1/1 that can become bigger as the game goes on. It did a lot of work for me during pre-release. Life Goes On looks a little weak at times, but 4 life for 1 mana seems really good and limited to me. Bitterblade Warrior. Yep, I am. Bitterblade Warrior is always a good creature. If nothing else, it's a 2/2 for 2. But you can also exert it for +1/+0 and Death Touch until end of turn. So that's always really good. Shed Weakness is +2/+2 until end of turn, and you may remove a -1/-1 counter from target creature for green. Combat tricks like that are always great. Even if you don't have to worry about the -1/-1 counters, the +2/+2 for 1 is amazing. Ambuscade is target creature you control gets +1/+0 until end of turn, and it deals damage equal to its power to target creature and opponent control. So for 3 mana, it's a one-sided fight with +1/+0. It's actually really good removal in the format. It really helps clear the way for things. I'm not a huge fan of Synchronized Strike, but it's always worth looking at. It's 3 mana to untap 2 target creatures, and they each get +2/+2 until end of turn. I'd rather have something like Ambuscade over Synchronized Strike, but that's just me personally. I don't think it's a bad card. I'm not sure how much ramping we're gonna do, so the tap for 1 colorless or 1 mana of any color, or exert it to add 2 mana on Oasis Ritualist may not be relevant. At 4 mana, it seems like a lot. I'd rather have something like the Tenacious Hunter, which is a 4/4 for 4 with, as long as any creature, it doesn't have to be your creature, any creature has a -1/-1 counter on it. Tenacious Hunter has Vigilance and Death Touch. Hey Apache, how's it going? Haven't seen you in a while. It's no Pat tonight, it's Brian, and we are playing Sealed. And then it looks like we're getting into the the finishers in the green. With Colossipede, which is simply a 5/5 for 5. Seems like great value to me. You have the Rampaging Hippo, which is 6 mana for a 5/6 trample with cycling. Um, so when you need it to be a creature, it's a creature. When you don't need it, you can cycle it away for something else. Generally, I find I cycle them when I'm short on land drops. And the other one is Sifter Worm, which is 7 mana, for a 7/7 Trampler. When it enters the battlefield, scry 3, then reveal the top card of your library. You gain life equal to that card's converted mana cost. That's really, really good. Just a 7/7 Trampler for 7 is amazing rate. So that's the green. I will say, if we're going to be playing Torment of Hellfire, I may play the Oasis Ritualist just for extra ramp. We will see. Alright. I'm not sure the red is impactful enough. We've got Cartouche of Zeal. Enters the battlefield, target creature can't block this turn. Enchanted creature has +1/+1 in haste. It's good, but it's a support card, and we seem to be a little light on creatures at the moment. We've got some pretty good combat tricks so far. The same thing with Crash Through. It's creatures you control gain trample until end of turn, draw a card. Well, it's good. I think we need some more creatures. And really the only creatures I see in red are the Firebrand Archer, which is a 2/1 for 2, and whenever you cast a non-creature spell, Firebrand Archer deals 1 damage to each opponent. That might be playable. I definitely, if there were other, creatures other than the massive Granitic Titan and Desert Ceradon at the high end, which we already have a bunch of, I'd probably be playing them and a whole bunch more spells and sorceries. But I just don't think there's enough here in the red to play. Yeah, I agree. There's just too many spells in red. I think either black or white is probably where I want to be. The black has a couple of good cards, but I do know that I've already looked at the white some, and there are some really nice playables in white. So I'm actually going to look at the black right now, Spirit. So you've got Liliana's Defeat, which, let's be honest, really is a sideboard card, because it's destroy target black creature or black planeswalker. Well, it's a great card. If your opponent isn't playing black, it's a dead card. Dune Beetle, I think, is a fine creature. It's a 1/4 for 2. Vile Manifestation is a 0/4 for 2 and gets +1/+0 for each card with cycling in your graveyard. So we're not going to be cycling, so I don't think that's one we are going to be playing. Without Weakness is really good, but it's a combat trick. It gives a target creature indestructible until end of turn, and it has cycling. Grizzly Survivor, again, it's a 2/3 for 3, and whenever you cycle or discard a card, it gets +2/+0 until end of turn. I don't think we're going to be doing that much cycling. Marauding Bone Slasher is a 3/3 for 3, but it can only attack or block if you control another zombie. Right now, I don't see that many zombies here. Moaning Walls is 0/5 Defender for 3 with cycling for 2. That's not bad, but let's be honest, I'd rather be attacking with my creatures than blocking. I think Bantu's Last Reckoning is an okay card. Um, I it's 3 mana, destroy all creatures. Lands you control don't untap during your next untap step. The problem I have with this card is twofold. One, I want to be playing a lot of creatures in this deck. Basically, creatures and combat tricks. That's what I want to be doing. So, I don't want to be destroying my own creatures. And the fact that my lands don't untap on my next untap step, time walking yourself never feels good. I just don't think that's where we want to be. So the next one is Carrion Screecher. It's 4 mana for a 3/1 flyer. I think it's a little overpriced. It's not great. If you need playables, it's fine. Grimstrider is 4 mana for a 6/6, but it gets -1/-1 for each card in your hand. It's not bad, but I'd rather be I don't want to feel like I have to play out combat tricks just to play that card. Pitless Vizier, 4/2 for 4. Whenever you cycle or discard a card, it gets indestructible until end of turn. Again, I don't think we're going to be cycling that much. Soul Stinger is a 5/4 for 4. When it enters the battlefield, put 2 -1/-1 counters on target creature you control. When it dies, you may put a -1/-1 counter on target creature for each -1/-1 counter on Soul Stinger. I love Soul Stinger. It's a great card. The problem I'm seeing here is I don't think there's enough good creatures for the kind of deck we're wanting to play here. I really just see the Carrion Screechers, which are average at best, the Soul Stinger, and Scrounger of Souls. So I do know our white has a lot of good cards. Sacred Cat is a 1/1 with lifelink for 1 with Embalm. Great card. Active Heroism, again, +2/+2 until end of turn, and untap the target creature, and it can block an additional creature this turn. Great combat trick. Compulsory Rest, enchanted creature can attack or block, and spend 2 mana, sacrifice this creature, you gain 2 life. Great removal in white. Gustwalker is just amazing. It's 2/2 for 2, and if you exert it, it gets +1/+1 and flying until end of turn. That just is great to me. True Heart Duelist is a 2/2 for 2, and it can block an additional creature each combat. With Embalm, I think that's pretty good. Dauntless Aven is a 2/1 flyer for 3 with whenever it attacks, untap target creature you control. That just seems really good to me. Desert's Hold, when it enchant creature when it enters the battlefield. If I control a desert, or there's a desert card in your graveyard, you gain 3 life. Enchanted creature can't attack or block, and its activated abilities can't be activated. More good removal. Solitary Camel is a 3/2 for 3, and as long as you control a desert or there's a desert in your graveyard, has lifelink. That's great. And Unconventional Tactics, 3 mana, target creature gains +3/+3, and flying until end of turn. Whenever a zombie enters the battlefield under your control, you may pay white. If you do, return it from your graveyard to your hand. I don't think that's going to be happening that much, but we do have a couple Embalm creatures, so it might happen. So I think we're a little light on. Let's look at what our curve is, but I feel like we're a card or 2 short. And yeah. So we've got 13 creatures. I'd like that to be 14. So I think we're probably going to play the Oketra's Avenger as a 3/1 for 2. Also, it does play well with the Dauntless Aven because I can exert it. I can exert Oketra's Avenger, and as it attacks, and that will prevent all combat damage dealt to it this turn. And Dauntless Haven, when it attacks, allows me to untap a target creature I control. So, I really like this list. I think this is probably what we're going to be playing in our games tonight. And let's see. Nope. Color. There we go. So, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Getting fairly close. Let's see what Moto suggests for lands. Yeah, 9-8 split. I think that's probably pretty good. So we are at 17 lands, 14 creatures, and 9 spells. I think that's a great place to be. We are going to save this, and I think this is where this is the deck we're going to take in to actually play tonight. So let's find our match. So this is our list tonight. We'll see how we do. Alright. So I'd be very happy with this list if with this pool, were I at, pre-release or whatever. It's apparently taking a while for us to find an opponent. That's okay. We will find one eventually. And as much as I wanted to play Temet, I think this is the green-white's much more solid. The thing you have to remember with limited is you need to have enough creatures. 9-creature spells are great, but you're generally not winning a game without creatures. Oh, and there's our opponent. Alright. We won the die roll. Of course we want to go first. That is a really lousy hand. That is 6 lands. Okay, that's a much more reasonable hand. We've got... Let's bring that up a little. We've got 3 lands, a removal spell, 2 removal spells, and a creature. Limited generally is a little slower. I'm okay not having a guaranteed turn 1, turn 2 play. And there's our turn 1 play. We will keep that Sandwalla on top. So it looks like our opponent is playing green as well. They played their own Sandwalla. So I think I'm just going to play out ours because we can deal with theirs, and right now it's not going to be too much trouble. If they want to spend their entire turn attacking us with a 3/3, I'm absolutely okay with this. Because what we'll do is we'll take the 3 and we can play Ambuscade and kill their lizard with our lizard. Alright, looks like they're choosing to not pump it and develop their board, which I'm okay with. Oh, they're not playing anything. Okay. Alright, so we drew a Gustwalker. That's actually really good. I think the first thing we're going to do is attack with our lizard and see what happens. I don't think I'm going to pump it this turn. And I think we're going to probably play our Gustwalker out, because that gets really good really quickly. Yeah, I happy to help. I realized they were a little small. Alright. So our opponent played a Sidewinder Naga. It's a 3-2 and gets a +1/+0 and trample as long as you control a desert or there's a desert in their graveyard, and they do control a desert. Good news is we can kill that very easily. And I think we're going to. We're going to Ambuscade this turn and just get that out of the way. And our opponent is tapped out, so they can't block with their Sandwalla. So I'm going to pump our Sandwalla, I think, which is, and then attack with both, so we are guaranteed a 2 damage this turn. So I'm not going to exert the Gustwalker this turn, because I'd like to attack with it next turn as well. Alright, so our opponent decided not to block. I'm not sure what they're doing. I'm not sure if they think they can race, but I'm having a Dauntless Aven and a Compulsory Rest. I'm feeling really good right now. Because if we draw a land off the top, we can play both next turn. Alright, that's a Traveler's Amulet. Lets them search their library for a basic land card, put it into their battlefield by paying 1 and sacrificing it. Seems like a good choice in what appears to be a 3-color deck. Yeah, it all depends on what they've got in their hand. They seem to not be playing things, which has me a little confused. And they do have to spend a life to pump their Sandwalla, because they don't actually have a forest yet. Oh, yeah, the turn 2 not playing anything? Yeah. Alright, so I think what I want to do here is attack, see what they've got, and I might pump the Sandwalla and play the Dauntless Aven this turn. But I'm not going to exert the Gustwalker because I don't see a reason to yet. Alright, they didn't block. I'm choosing not to pump the Sandwalla simply because I want to keep some mana up. I'm concerned. We're winning this race either way. I'm just concerned on what our opponent has in hand and what they're doing. I'm hoping it's nothing, but I'd rather play it a little safe. I'm surprised they didn't activate the amulet to find a land at the end of my turn. So, next turn we're going to start crashing in really hard because I can exert the Gustwalker and untap it with the Dauntless Aven and keep exerting it, and the Gustwalker then becomes a 3/3 flyer every turn, which is really nice. Alright, so our opponent just decided not to attack. I think they're planning on blocking with that Sandwalla. Unfortunately for them, the Sandwalla is not going to last very long. So we're going to cast the Ambuscade and attempt to kill their Sandwalla. They may pump it in response, but that's okay, because we can always compulsory rest it to take it out of the blocking, or make it so it can't block and still crash in for a good amount. Okay, they chose not to save the Sandwalla. So we are just going to attack with everything. We are going to exert the Gustwalker. And untap it with the Dauntless Aven. Alright, so our opponent had a removal spell. That's okay. Yes, the synergy, Pat, the synergy. So that's okay. They killed our Gustwalker, and I'm absolutely okay with that. We still have a good good clock here of 5 damage a turn. So we've got our opponent dead in 2 turns. Alright. So our opponent cast a Defiant Great Maw. It's a 4/5, but they're going to have to put 2 -1/-1 counters on it, and we have the compulsory rest to take that out of the equation. We also could just pull one of our pump spells or anything else. We've got a lot of things in the deck we can still. Okay, killing our flyer with a Braid, dealing 3 damage to it. That's okay. So our Sandwalla still beats the Great Maw. So we're going to attack with it, pump it, and after they declare blockers, and see what happens. Alright. So our opponent's tapped out. So we can pump the Sandwalla. It will kill the Great Maw, and all they did there was buy themselves a turn. So I'm choosing not to play a land because I already have a good number on the battlefield, and I'd rather choose to have my opponent think I've got something else. Alright, that is an Adorned Pouncer, a 1/1 double strike. It still doesn't kill Now it kills our Sandwalla. Alright. So unfortunately, our Sandwalla is going to die here. Because Cartouche of Strength allows the Pouncer to fight the Sandwalla, even if I buff it to a 3/3, a 2/2 double strike still kills it. So we're just going to let that die. Well, this is not what I want to be drawing off the top. Lands are not what I want at this point. So, yeah, it could have killed the creature. I'm at 18. I'm not worried about taking a little bit of damage right now. And I'd rather worry about save the compulsory rest for something that actually scares me. But yes, you're actually right. I had missed that. If I buffed it, it would have killed the Pouncer. Thank you for that. Okay. So, our opponent just killed our 1/1 lifelinker. Very, very sad. The other problem with the compulsory rest is it does give our opponent 2 life. But we may have to do that soon. Alright, yep. We drew another land. So, this cat is going to go away. Because that is 4 damage a turn. And I forgot the Sacred Cat has Embalm. I would really like to draw something that isn't a land off the top of my deck. Alright, so we got another removal enchantment. That's good. Means I can permanently disable this Adorned Pouncer. Still have to worry about the 2/4, but I'm less concerned about that than I am a 4/4 double strike. So our opponent played a Ranmup Ruin, so we do have to be careful. That can do 2 damage to us. Alright, our opponent is doing exactly what we did to them at the beginning of the game. And that's another land. That is not what we wanted to see. We're not in good shape here, because we go down to 3 next turn, or this turn, and possibly 1. We'll see. If they've got a pump spell, we might be dead. Yeah, looking like we might be dead. We're very, 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 very close to it. Yep, we are dead. Alright. So we don't have much in the way of sideboard, so we're just going to send this deck back for now. Yeah, I did. I really did need the Sifter Worm. Alright, I think I'm going to keep this. We've got 2 lands and at least 1 play on turn 2. I'm not a huge fan of it. I mean, we're keeping. Let's leave it at that. It could be much worse. So we know our opponent is on 4 colors, and they did mull down to 6. Alright, so that was an okay draw. So we drew a compulsory rest. I'm absolutely fine to see that. I would like another land in the next turn or 2, but that's okay. Alright, so we drew a Gustwalker, which is great. We're going to attack here first. I want to see if they're going to trade their Eternalize for my Embalm. They're choosing not to. Alright, that's fine with me. We will play out the Gustwalker. Yeah, drawing those lands did not help. It happens. Alright, so our opponent has a Dauntless Aven. Alright, so we are going to attack. I'm not going to exert the Gustwalker, but we're going to see what our opponent does, because we have Active Heroism as a combat trick if we need to save a creature. Alright. Opponent is choosing not to block. So Active Heroism untaps the creature. So I'm actually going to not play anything this turn, because I can use it as a combat trick to block and kill their Adorned Pouncer. Alright, so we are going to untap our Trueheart Duelist, and we're going to use it to kill the Adorned Pouncer. Unfortunately, even though it can block an extra creature, it can't block the flyer, but that's okay. And we drew another land. That is really good, actually. So, with that extra land, we can cast the Synchronized Strike. So I'm actually going to attack with both my creatures, exert the Gustwalker, and we will see if they try to block the Trueheart Duelist with the Oasis Ritualist, because we can kill it. Alright, so they're choosing not to block. That is fine. So what we're going to do is we're going to play out the Solitary Camel instead, just to continue building our board. So how is everyone doing tonight? Alright, let's see. So 3, 6. Yeah, I definitely prefer sealed over draft. Not that I don't like draft, but sealed is fun. Alright, so what are they going to kill with the Cartouche of Strength? What list are you working on, Apache? Alright, they're going to kill our camel. I'm okay with this. Alright, so what I'd like to do here is we are going to remove this Ritualist from the attack and block, which allows me to attack with this Duelist and continue winning the race. -1/-1 Solemnity. That sounds interesting. So, depending on what our opponent plays or doesn't play, we might be able to kill them next turn because we have the Synchronized Strike. Alright, so they're going to eternalize the Adorned Pouncer. That's absolutely fine. So they now have a 4/4 double strike. And a Sidewinder Naga. Okay. I was just about to say, a land would be great here. So, I think the plan here is to chip in with the Gustwalker, play the Sacred Cat, and block with the Duelist, the Cat, and hopefully do enough damage. 7, 4... Yeah, we should be able to kill them as long as they don't keep their flyer back next turn. That being said, when has anything ever gone as planned? Okay. That, I forgot, Gift of Strength gives reach. I think we're going to let our Gustwalker die because I can play the Dauntless Haven and the Sacred Cat this turn and still have a decent board presence. Yeah, I think that's the plan. Alright. We will see what happens when our opponent chooses to do. So they're attacking just with their Adorned Pouncer. I think I'm going to just jump with the cat, let it die, and we will see where it goes from there. So, right now the plan is just get creatures onto the battlefield, don't die, and hopefully be able to Alpha Strike for the win. One, two, three, four, five. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That is a pain. I'd really like our opponent to not keep removing our creatures. An extra +2/+2, and our opponent not having something that gives reach is exactly what we needed. So let's hope they don't have the reach. Or a way to kill it themselves. Well, yep, we have lost. I forgot compulsory rest had the life gain on it. So we lost our first match. That's okay. It happens. Let's see if we can find another game quickly. I'll bring our deck back up. This is the deck we're playing. Green, white, good stuff, I guess. And we won the die roll. Alright, I am going to keep this hand. Looks like it's okay. If we can get up to 7 mana, that'd be great. The way those first 2 games went, I have a feeling that the Sifter Worm is going to be stranded in our hand for the entire game. But let's hope we can play it, because that card is just amazing in Limited. Okay, so we drew another of our top end. That's okay, we can at least play out the True Heart Duelist. I mean, let's be honest, Apache. It's green-white stuff. We might as well call it good stuff. Alright, it looks like our opponent is possibly Grixis. So we have a lot of combat tricks on our hand, which is absolutely okay with me. Alright, our opponent has cycled a land. Alright, so we drew another creature that we can play. That's good. That's what I like to see. And we can keep Shed Weakness up if need be. Alright, our opponent is grabbing a land. So we're just going to keep attacking in and doing what we want to do with Beating Face. I think we're in a very good position here. We have a lot of combat tricks we can use if we need them. Alright, our opponent played a Aven Reedstalker. I assume they're going to block something. Good news is, we can... Oh, they're not going to block. Okay. So, we're going to kill the Reedstalker. We're going to use the Ambuscade to give the Duelist +1/+0, and it's going to do 3 damage to the Reedstalker. So, looks like our opponent is definitely at least on blue-red. Alright, so we are drawing lands, which is good. So it does, but this is more of a blue-red. Spellweaver Eternal, I feel, is more of a blue-red card because it does have the prowess on it. So we're gonna stop that from attacking or blocking right now because I know from personal experience how out of hand those can get. And you know what? I really don't want to have to deal with Afflict. Okay, so they're going to kill our Oketra's Avenger with a Braid, and I'm okay with this. Unfortunately, we only have Shed Weakness left. We can't actually save it, because the Braid deals 3 damage, and Shed Weakness only gives +2/+2. We're still going to attack with the Trueheart Duelist. Yeah, so the reasoning I think they did it is the Spellweaver is supposed to be an aggressive card because it does have the prowess on it. That's the only reason I can think of. Alright, so it does look like our opponent is on blue-red. They haven't gotten a swamp yet with 2 amulets. I think they probably would have. Oh no, I stand corrected. They are indeed on Grixis. Because that is a Dread Wanderer. Alright, and we drew a Gustwalker. One, two, three, four, five, six. Yep, bolus incoming. Yeah. Of course, Pat, you have brews for every week. Let's be honest. You weren't here this week and you had brews. Alright, no bolus. That's good. So we have our opponent dead next turn. They are at 8. We exert the Gustwalker, that's 3. We give the Duelist +3/+3 and flying, and that turns it into a 5/5, and that is exactly 8 damage. So that's exactly what we're going to do. And we have Shed Weakness up just in case we need it. And no, it's never a bad time for a Brew Apache. Yep. So we won that game. We're just going to ship it back. The only time it's a bad time for a brew is when you have Pat making them and he hands them to you and you have to play it blind. Let's be honest there. And play it blind against Mill. Well, I'm definitely bringing Laser Monday. They were decks. The Reanimator was interesting. I will say that. Um, so I like this hand, actually. We have 2 Dauntless Avens, an Act of Heroism, a Gustwalker, and 2 lands. Um, Fog Mill felt, honestly, like it was flailing around, too much. You needed more to do in there. I, I just think it had trouble figuring out, actually finding, um, action. So we're probably taking at least 2 this turn, because I'm not blocking that Spellweaver Eternal with my Gustwalker. So as far as the Fog Mill goes, Pat, I think there's the base for a deck there. It needs more work. Alright, so we are taking at least 3 this turn. Which is okay, because I have a Dauntless Aven, which means after next turn, I can continually attack with an Exerted Gustwalker. Yeah, of the... I mean, let's be honest, I didn't get to play the one deck that much. The Jund Reanimator, though, looked pretty good. I'd be interested to take another pass at that. Whoops. And we just punted by clicking through. Maybe. Good news is we have an Act of Heroism, so we can actually probably kill that Spellweaver Eternal next turn, which I am all for. Alright, so we're taking 2 off the Afflict, but we are going to kill that Spellweaver Eternal. And our opponent has an Aven Initiate. Okay, I would love to see a land off the top. Ask and you shall receive. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to attack with the Gustwalker and not exert it. Hope they block so we can use the Shed Weakness as a removal spell. If they don't block, okay, they don't block. Alright, they're not blocking. That's fine. We will play out the Dauntless Aven and keep up the Shed Weakness. So I'm not going to block this because I want to be able to attack with my Dauntless Aven and exert the Gustwalker and then untap it next turn. That is a second Aven Initiate. Okay. That's actually okay. Alright. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna give the Dauntless Aven +1/+0, have it kill the Aven Initiate, and still keep up the Shed weakness as a combat trick. And the Dauntless Aven gets to untap the Exerted Gustwalker. That is such a wonderful combination. I love Dauntless Aven with Exert creatures. So I hope everyone's having a good time and enjoying Limited this week. That's a lot of creatures from our opponent. So I was initially considering blocking the Dread actually, yeah, no, we're. Let's see. It's 3, 4, 5. We've got 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. See, that's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Alright, so yeah, we definitely want to block here. So we're going to block the Dread Wanderer. And then use Shed Weakness basically as a removal spell to save our Gustwalker and kill their Dread Wanderer. My pre-release promos. Let me try and remember what I ended up getting. I mean, not promos, but I did pull both a Liliana Death's Majesty and a Nicol Bolas in pre-release, one in each of a pre-release over the weekend. Let's see. My other promos were the Majestic Mariarch, Hour of Eternity, and Apocalypse Demon. How about you, Skull Knight? Did you get any good promos? Alright, so Afflict is annoying. I'm going to say that much. Oh, a Wildfire Eternal's not bad. Alright, so we are going to have to play out the Colossopede and hope they don't draw something to kill us? So right now, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 because I'm going to block the Devastator with the Colossopede. Let's be honest here. Oh, and we won! Our opponent didn't draw what they needed. So we're 1-1. And let's try and play another match. So we're playing Hour of Devastation sealed, and we are playing green-white. And we have won every die roll tonight so far. Alright, so I'm probably going to keep this simply because it's got a Sandwalla on 1, and I can attack and buff it for 3 damage on turn 2. And hopefully I can draw into the white that I need. So, by the way, for any of you who are playing limited, Frilled Sandwalla has been an all-star in the decks I've played it in. Okay, we just got Magma Sprayed. And did not draw a white source. That makes me a little sad. Well, we are not drawing the cards we need, and that's okay. It happens. So our opponent seems to be on Boros Aggro, is my guess. And that is not what we want to be against with this kind of a start. Would really love to draw any land. I mean, any land is great, but a white land would be the best right now. Alright, so we're just going to cast this Life Goes On end of turn for 4 life. Because I don't think we're going to be killing their things in the immediate future, and not where I want to be. This is not looking good for us. We are in a very bad spot, because we are taking 7 this turn. At least. They can always buff the Frontline Devastator. I think end of turn I'm going to cycle. Or, turn off auto use. Oh, no, I wasn't fast enough. Alright, well, that's okay. Got our Tenacious Hunter on the battlefield. Thank you, Pat, though. I forgot the Rampaging Hippo had cycle. Well, good news is we have our we have a 4/4 on the battlefield. So that will at this point probably chump something, because yeah. I think we probably are going to, at least this turn, kill the Battlefield Scavenger. And, I mean, depending on what our opponent does, but, yeah. So we have the Desert's Hold that can get rid of probably the Frontline Devastator, because Afflict is annoying. Okay, so we're going to have to block the Frontline Devastator, I think. Alright, so 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh man. Um, we are dead. We're actually dead because the Frontline Devastator can get +1/+0. They can do buff that 3 times. The Burning Fist Minotaur gets +2/+0, but they have to discard a card, so they can do that twice. So no matter which one I block, I'm dead. Alright, so we know not to keep a slow hand. Like that. I don't think that... Actually, no, I might keep this because I can cycle the Hippo on 2. Yeah, we're gonna keep this. Because I can cycle that Hippo if I need to. Alright, that's a much slower start. And yeah, look from our opponent. And yeah, it looks like I'm going to... This turn, I'm definitely just going to end of their turn cycle the Rampaging Hippo. And hope I draw something. Sacred Cat doesn't help. Frilled Sandwalla kind of helps. So if nothing else, we can trade for the Burning Fist Minotaur and gain 8 life. Yep, and that's exactly what we are going to do. Oh, I'm an idiot. Burning Minotaur has first strike. It's okay. We can still gain the 8 life, which buys us a little bit longer. Okay, this is not what we want to be seeing. Deck has jokes tonight. This is a little, confusing. We do have 17 lands. I promise there are lands in here. But this happens. Would love to see a, planes. There we go. So that's +1/+0. So I think what I'm going to do is compulsory rest the Burning Fist Minotaur, because right now that's their largest amount of damage repeated, without exerting. At least the other ones require the exertion to be a little more scary. We're still taking 5. Alright, so we drew another land. Alright, so what we're going to do is play the Sacred Cat and pass the turn. Because what we can do is we can block one creature with it and then use the Ambuscade to kill a second one. Also gaining life off of this entire exchange. Alright, well, so they exerted their Fervent Paincaster, which means we are going to kill the Spearmaster in response. So what they did is they exerted the Paincaster to do 1 damage to the Sacred Cat. Are they really going to cast out my cat? Wow. Okay. They just used cast out on my Sacred Cat. That felt really bad. Alright. But well, I think we may be seeing a case of too little too late in the land department, but we will see. We can play 2 creatures next turn. And our opponent is down to 1 card in hand. Yep, things you see in Limited. Cast out a Sacred Cat. So we're not going to block because there's no reason to right now, because that the Spearmaster gets first strike when it exerts, so our creature will die. Whatever we block with will die without killing the Spearmaster. That being said, there may hit a point where we have to, but we will see. That is a 4/4 Vigilance. Whew. Well, I don't like the position we're in. Hey, Yitz. Yeah, you know, that's been the story of the night, I think. I've either had too many or too few. Yeah. We are... I guess we're gonna block. Don't like blocking, but Yeah, it's been a little frustrating, but that's okay. And we are going to die to that because even if we block the Ceradon, we take 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we went 1 and 2 tonight with the deck. This is Brian tonight. So we went 1 and 2. That's absolutely fine. Let me try it. Let me bring up the deck one more time. There it is. So this is what we played tonight. Probably in the next week or two, I might bring this back some night just to continue playing it for you guys, and we'll see. Thanks for hanging out with us. As always, if you like what you see, hit that follow button. If you're on YouTube, click subscribe. Thanks for hanging out tonight. You can if you have any questions, you can always email us or hit us up on Discord. It was a fun night, and I will see everybody Monday for more paper testing of or Hour of Devastation now. So thanks again, and have a good evening.